Let's get to it and welcome back the director, Phillies director of fun and games, John Brazer, to Philly Pressbox Radio. John, welcome back. Always my favorite title to talk about.
Well, thanks for having me on. I gave the title to myself. I think I told you that last time I was on 29 years ago. And I probably mentioned, too, did I mention that Bill Murray stole my title? Did I tell you that one? He really did.
I think so, yeah. That's pretty cool.
So if you look on Bill Murray's, if you look him up, so you see what his title is in baseball, he's director of fun. He left off the end game, so I guess he thought I was going to sue him or something.
Hey, if you're going to have somebody steal from you, might as well be a big movie star. Why not?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Hey, John, we got to talk Phillies. Unfortunately, they have not been a whole lot of fun to watch of late. 5 straight losses as we speak. They were, I think, 10-18 or something like that in the month of May. Not so good. First of all, how did everything go so wrong this year? We had such high hopes for this team. What's happening here?
Yeah, it's, like everybody else, we're all fans that work here. The problem when you work here, too, or it can be a bonus, is that when the team is doing poorly, you suffer as a fan, but it also impacts your job. I have to go on radio shows. I do my own radio show, and it's tough to talk about losses, especially when they're tough losses. And it just seems there's so many of these one run games or extra inning games, and it just seems it's almost a different night where something bad happens, whether it's a ball that goes under someone's glove, or whether it's a bullpen pitcher that comes out that's normally reliable, then gives it up. We've had very few lockdown innings, and when the offense gets going, then in the beginning, then they go cold, and then the other team comes back. So it's just that if you look at the positives for starting pitching has been pretty good for the most part. When you look at Zach Wheeler, you look at Nolan now after he got off to kind of a tough start. But he's really been dealing, so to speak. Eflin's had definitely some great moments. Ranger's struggling a little bit. Ranger, from last year, I think the expectations are so high, and I think with the bullpen, and I think Kyle Gibbs has been fine. So starting pitching certainly has not been the problem. I think the problem is that our offense has gotten too streaky, and our bullpen hasn't been able to hold down leads. And we really haven't, other than Knable at the close, but even Knable's, not faring so well. He's having some difficulty. So, we haven't established that, okay, we're going 7th inning, that's Sir Anthony, 8th inning, that's Brad Hand, if it's a righty or lefty. We haven't established that hierarchy in the bullpen. And the defense, it was holding tight for a little while in the beginning. And then it seems every night there's a play that ends up costing us. So, it's just, I guess in baseball, you go through these spurts, and we need to turn it around, definitely, because it's frustrating as a fan. It's certainly frustrating as an employee.
Well, John, as you mentioned, being a fan, being an employee, social media can sometimes be the devil, I think, with all the chatter that's out there. But a lot of Joe Girardi chatter. Does that are you able to keep that out of the building? As Nick Saban says, it's rat poison.
Yes, because we all know Joe. We all know Dave Dombrowski. We know, most of the players, at least a lot of the guys that deal with the clubhouse. So, it's tough because you hear this from the fans. You hear it on talk radio. You hear it, on the social media. But these guys, so you kind of want to naturally defend them. We get a little blinded, certainly. But, I don't think you can really point your finger. I mean, especially Joe Girardi, what are his options? It's not like he's got better options and he's going to the wrong option. He's trying different things, and each guy is basically not doing their job. So I'm not saying he's not worthy of any criticism, but I as a fan, I wouldn't criticize Joe because I think he's given what he's been given. So I don't know. I just think everyone's got to really turn around. I think we need to learn the culture of winning. And I thought, by us bringing in, Kyle Schwarber, who's been on many playoff teams, that would help. And Bryce Harper and some of the veteran leadership. But we just got to get out of this rut and start going on a streak. We certainly have the hitters to be able to do it. And if we can just catch the ball we're supposed to catch, we're probably not going to make those spectacular plays, keep the starting pitching going. And I think the biggest concern is just we need to get that bullpen. We need guys to step up. Everyone needs to step up in that bullpen. From Bellotti to Norwood to everybody. I mean, the one guy I feel really comfortable about is Sir Anthony right now.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only one as a fan that I feel real comfortable about.
And one guy who was having a pretty decent season, hitting and actually defensively, second baseman Gene Segura. And then we find out today he's out 10 to 12 weeks with that fractured hand. So
and you kind of had a feeling
blow.
when he got hit last night,
Yeah.
and he just, you knew he was in pain. That is a big blow because he is, he's one of the guys that if there's guys on third base with 2 outs and you're down by a run, he's probably one of the few guys you say, I want this guy up at bat because he makes contact. He's clutch. So yeah, that's gonna hurt.
John, certainly a big step from coming from Lehigh Valley up to the big leagues, but we seem to really have a depth problem, and when we need Stott, he's not doing very well. Quinn certainly didn't do very well. We've got Moniak up here now. I think everybody's hoping he's going to do well. That remains to be seen. These guys that are more than bench players now, they're going to have to step in and play regular, need to play well.
Yeah, I think it's winning's contagious. So when the guys are loose, when you're young, and guys are loose, you got a lot of guys performing well in front of them. Then they're loose, and there's not as much pressure. Conversely, when you start going through a losing streak, and the veterans aren't doing much, and all of a sudden now the guys like Stott and Moniak and other guys are asked to do more. They already have pressure enough because they really haven't established themselves in the major league. And all of a sudden they've got the added pressure of, especially if you're a Moniak, well, if I don't do well, I'm going to get sent down. It just seemed like in spring training, everything slowed down for him. And now here, I don't know whether the pitchers have the book on him or they probably don't because they don't have enough at bats to do that. But I think just a lot of it is just, we're in that bat. If we were in an 8-game winning streak and they were brought up, I think it's totally different. They're relaxed. They know that they're basically just gravy as opposed to being an integral part of that offense. So, I just think we need to put them in the situation so they're more relaxed.
And the losing certainly doesn't help bring fans to the ballpark. But you do have the Angels coming in this weekend with Ohtani and Mike Trout. And then you got a bunch of things that are pretty cool on the June and July calendars. If I put up the June sched, you can see that there are some cool things happening. You have a bobblehead for a certain MVP on June 10th. There's a post-game concert, a Father's Day appreciation giveaway item. Tell us about some of the things coming up on the sched, John.
Well, the one thing, the weekend schedule has been pretty good all year as far as giveaways, opponents. So the Angels, that's going to be pretty cool. I think we miss Ohtani, which maybe is a good thing. But yes, we have the Angels coming in, so that's going to be very exciting. I know Ray Diddinger is throwing out the first pitch on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
With the Diamondbacks, that whole weekend, we got the Bryce Harper bobble figurine on that Friday. And the Saturday after the 4:00 game, I love these guys. They performed here twice. Avett Brothers. I've gotten to know the bassist, Bob Crawford, super guy. But if anybody hasn't seen the Avett Brothers, they do a great. They're almost folk, country, rock. I call them y'alternative because it's kind of country alternative. And then obviously a great Father's Day giveaway bucket hat on the 12th. So a lot of stuff going on down the road. You mentioned post-game concerts, Avett Brothers.
Yep.
Then we also have Jake Owen. That's on July 23rd. So that's going to be pretty cool. The one thing that I'm going to love because it's very nostalgic. Can't say I was a huge rap guy, but we have I Love the 90s concert on August 19th. And that's Rob Bass, Vanilla Ice, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Tone Loc. So that'll be fun. I'm actually really looking forward to that. And a lot of different giveaways. We've got Zach Wheeler, Zach Wheeler replica jersey. The Wall of Fame night, which is in August. We haven't announced yet who the Wall of Fame nominees are going to be, but it's going to be you'll have there's going to be a 1980s bent to it, so that'll be good. So that whole weekend, so it's going to be a fun, nostalgic. That's always fun for us, having these guys go in the Wall of Fame, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. And so it's just a lot of, and we have obviously fireworks on July 1st and July 3rd. Some fun things. So,
hey, John, when you have a promotion like the Bryce Harper bobblehead night, I'm sure you guys have some sort of formula that you use. How much is a night like that? How many fans does that bring, or how many do you figure it's going to bring?
Yeah, I think it all depends. It depends on who the player is. Depends on if the weekend. And it's interesting when you do a bobble, you're going to do a good crowd. So do you take normally like a Tuesday week opponent? Let's say you're playing the Marlins on a Tuesday night. You try to bring that from a right now, bring it from a 14,000 to maybe a 30,000, or do you take like a Friday, Saturday against when you're doing the schedule, Friday, Saturday against the Dodgers, and let's bring that 30,000 to maybe a 44 to a sellout. So there's a little trickery there. You can see it both sides. You also got to look at the player. When we're doing a player bobblehead doll, you got to make sure that we have to talk to baseball ops and make sure that's, maybe someone in the last year of the contract, we did a bobblehead doll in August and we're doing somebody who's on the last year of his contract. Well, that guy might be gone. We found out the hard way when we traded away 100 pens when we already had a giveaway ready for him.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you get caught in that. I remember one time we had the bobbles that were stuck on a ship in China, I believe. So sometimes all the best plans, that you do don't go wrong. But usually a bobble like that should increase it by, you hope 10,000, 15,000 fans, really, when you combine it.
Hey, John, there are some new food places at the ballpark this year. Colby's Southern Kiss Chicken. Ryan Howard, a partner in that.
Ryan was just here telling Miles Teller all about it. So I think Miles Teller's going to be trying one of those Southern Kiss chickens.
Manco and Manco Pizza, I'm guessing both are pretty popular. And by the way, I saw that Boardwalk Eats, they have a peanut butter and jelly burger. I'm not so sure I want to try that.
Peanut butter and jalapeno jelly or jalapeno jam cheeseburger. As I told you, I do a radio show, and Aramark's been bringing by different foods. Love the Manco and Manco Pizza. Loved all the different, the Colby's chicken. That burger, I had to get our producer to try it and have him tell me what it's like. I was worried about my acid reflux.
Bill,
But
talk to John for 2 more minutes. I got another question, but I got to go take care of something right out here. You take care of John for the next 2 minutes.
All right. Sounds good. So John, with your activities that you do with the Phillies as the director of fun and games, you also do some other stuff. You have your own podcast. You have some other just baseball fan activities, I guess we'll call it. What all you have going on, and how can people listen?
Yeah, well, thank you for the plug. The podcast is Backstage with Burgoyne and Brazer. So Tom Burgoyne is the best friend of the Fanatic. We're best friends, and we same age, and we've known each other for 29 years. And so we get along really well. We interview former players, coaches, other celebrities. We've had Merrill Reese and Joe Watson and some other athletes. So you can find Backstage with Burgoyne and Brazer on iTunes, Spotify, Phillies website, anywhere you get your podcasts. I'm on the pregame show every Wednesday. I was on there today talking about either what's coming up, or sometimes I interview celebrities. Like I interviewed Eric Kratz not too long ago, and that's going to air in a couple of weeks. Kind of a quick, kind of fast-moving questions. I ask a different celebrity. And I also do a radio show. So the radio show is WBCB, and I do that with Tommy Green every Sunday. So 1490 WBCB. Merrill Reese is the GM. So I've been doing that for about 20 years. And I really enjoy doing the radio part. And I also, I'll go around to the different radio shows, WIP and MMR, MWA and XU, and promote the Phillies, 97.5. And so it's, I'm out there promoting. I guess that's my job, is to, to make sure that people know what games are coming up, what events are coming up, what celebrities are coming up, the food in the ballpark, all the different things that we have going on.
John, I got to ask you one final thing. I saw this on Facebook a while ago. This is a picture from, I guess, 1988. What the heck is going on right here?
So I lived in Manchester, England for a year right out of college, and I played lacrosse for a club called Bourbon and Eccles, which is in Manchester, England. And, I was playing lacrosse over there. I'd never played cricket. They said, John, we need you to play cricket. So I'm the only American at this club. And they got me a cricket outfit. I'm drinking a Boddington's beer, I think I am over there. They gave me, the sunblock. Sometimes the sun does come out in England.
A lot of sunblock.
A hat, and I was definitely skinny, and I had dark hair. So, I showed that to my daughter, and she didn't recognize who that person was.
That's
I didn't tell her that's Dad.
Thanks, John.
Good stuff.